Lyle is a creature of habit, whose daily routine is to come home from work, fix himself a drink, eat dinner, and then spend his evenings watching television.
Throughout the whole investigation, I did not hear one bad thing about Lyle. He was a great guy, great uncle, good person, very hardworking.
Carol Kopenkoski is a woman of many trades. She's taken on several careers throughout the years, including owning a restaurant, which burned to the ground in the 1980s. In October of 2012, she works at a local grocery store, a pizza place, and she cleans houses. She builds up her reputation around town as a hard worker, someone willing to take on many tasks at once, a trait both her and Lyle possess. And for all their hard work, the Kopenkoskis reward themselves with the things they love most in life.
Their idea of fun was heading to Michigan Speedway to see all of the auto races or NASCAR. They kept to themselves. They were definitely family-driven people.
By all accounts, the Kopenkoskis are like any other married couple. But their world is tragically rocked on a cruel fall day in October of 2012. Earlier in the day, on October 2nd, 2012, Carl passes his brother's truck, which is parked down a country road.
Carl is Lyle's brother who lives a quarter-mile away from where the truck was located, saw Lyle's truck and did not see Lyle.
He slows and examines the scene. Assuming his brother has gone hunting, Carl continues on, but keeps the image in his head throughout the rest of the day. Carol arrives home around 9 p.m. after working all day. Immediately, she notices Lyle's truck is nowhere to be seen. When she enters the house, she finds that Lyle isn't in his usual spot, watching television. She calls out for her husband, but no one answers. Worry then starts to set in, which is only amplified when she listens to the unheard messages left on her voicemail. They're all from Lyle's boss. Lyle didn't show up for work that day.
Lyle worked for many, many, many years, and by all accounts was a great employee. Very consistent, reliable, didn't call in sick, never missed days of work, was always on time.
Carol calls Carl, asking if he's seen Lyle. Carl hasn't, until he remembers passing by Lyle's truck earlier in the day.
They lived out in the country, and, it was not near a lot of other houses or anything like that. There was a lot of space in between them and any neighbors. And Lyle's brother actually discovered the truck there and stopped, I believe, in the evening. It was obviously highly suspicious that his brother's truck was still there many hours later on the side of the road.
And that's when the call came in that we possibly had a missing person.
The small police force of Petoskey arrive at the scene. Aside from what looks to be an abandoned vehicle, nothing appears out of ordinary at first. There are no noticeable signs of a struggle, no apparent bloodstains, and no visible weapons. Though the scenario of what's happened is still uncertain, authorities know time is of the essence. They need to find Lyle, and fast, so they call in reinforcements.
At that point, they called out a search and rescue team where they then would comb what was literally cow pastures, looking for a body, looking for a weapon, looking for any type of evidence that would show Lyle's whereabouts.
With police at the scene working to piece together the events of that night, investigators head to the Kopenkoski home, where Carol nervously waits. Carol tells the authorities her and Lyle spent some time in their second home in Allenson, about 20 minutes from Petoskey, over the weekend. When they returned on Sunday night, there was something different about Lyle. Something was off.
She explained to me the night before that Lyle had been drinking. Lyle had what she had termed was hallucinating, and she was basically babysitting him.
According to Carol, Lyle mixed alcohol with his depression and anxiety medication the night before, rendering him in a strange, hallucinatory state.
in his intoxication, he was falling over chairs, had walked behind a television. She had even mentioned that he possibly was going to the bathroom behind the television, really acting erratic. During the time of babysitting him, he had mentioned that he wanted to go to work. He needed to go to work. Well, this was at 2 o'clock in the morning. So she kept trying to get him to go back to bed. But she did make a lunch, as she says does every day, and make coffee and try to wait it out until it was time for him to actually go to work.
Carol tells officers she returns home Monday evening and only then learns that Lyle didn't make it to work. She calls Carl to see if Lyle is over there. That phone call triggers Carl to investigate his brother's truck. Carol fears the worst. Lyle's depression has worsened over the past little while. What if Lyle has taken his own life? Meanwhile, investigators at the scene continue to scour every fragment of land for something, anything that could lead them to Lyle. But hours have passed, and they're no closer to finding him. Spirits are beginning to dwindle.
I think they were just trying to piece together what happened. I don't know if they thought it might be a suicide even.
Then, at approximately 12:30 a.m. on October 3rd, 2012, Lyle's body is located.
It wasn't until approximately 2 hours later that they actually located Lyle in the ditch, maybe 15 to 20 feet from where they were standing in the middle of the road. The way the ditch was located made it very difficult to see the bottom of the ditch, and so they were not able to locate the body because of the darkness and the way the lights were. We even had a dog in the area that we called out, and the dog was also unable to find the body, but eventually a rescue worker had walked upon it.
Investigators are stunned as they try to wrap their heads around the horrific sight before them. As they wait for the medical examiner to arrive, they can't help but ask themselves, could Lyle have died by suicide? Or is there something more malicious going on in the quiet town of Petoskey?
Putting knives to the throat of Lyle and basically threatened to kill him.
They were looking for a .38 revolver, a murder weapon.
There was highlighted pages on a cover of evidence.
I'm Jonathan Lawson. If you're 50 to 85, I have an important message about security. Write down the number on your screen so you can call when I finish. The lock I want to talk to you about isn't the one on your door. This is a lock for your life insurance, a rate lock that guarantees that once you're insured, your rate can never go up at any time for any reason. But be careful. Many policies you see do not have one, but you can get a lifetime rate lock from Colonial Penn. Call this number to learn more. This plan was designed with a rate lock for people on a fixed income who want life insurance that fits their budget and is simple to get. Coverage options start at $9.95 a month, less than 35 cents a day. Act now, and your rate will be locked in for life. It will never increase, guaranteed. This is lifelong coverage that can never be canceled as long as you pay your premiums, guaranteed. And your acceptance is guaranteed, with no health questions. You cannot be turned down because of your health. Call for your information kit and read about this rate lock for yourself. You'll also get a free beneficiary planner. Both are free with no obligation. Don't miss out. Call for information, then decide. Read about the 30-day 100% money-back guarantee. Don't wait. Call this number now.
Call now and you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. Use this valuable guide to record important information and your final wishes. And it's yours free just for calling. So don't wait. Call 1-800-430-6060 for your free information. That's 1-800-430-6060. There's no risk or obligation. That number again is 1-800-430-6060. That's 1-800-430-6060. So call now.
If you live in rural America and want better high-speed internet at home, say hello to the new HughesNet.
Hi!
Now you can do it all. Connect, stream, and play, wherever you live.
Now you can shop till you drop because your internet won't.
Now I can video conference with confidence.
The new HughesNet is Jupiter powered with unlimited data and faster speeds than ever before.
Now I can stream up anything I can dream up.
That's right.
And HughesNet Fusion plans combine satellite and wireless technologies for a faster, more responsive internet experience.
How? There's no share in my game.
Oh, game on.
This is satellite internet reinvented.
Nice.
Call now and get free professional installation and save $25 a month for 12 months.
This changes everything.
Yes, it does.
Now it's your chance to get the new HughesNet. Call 1-800-617-7624.
Does a physical or mental health condition keep you from working? Do you need help applying for disability benefits? Or have you already been denied disability? Call Disability Help today. Get the Social Security disability benefits you deserve. Get connected with disability representatives nationwide without leaving your home. Social Security disability cases are time sensitive. Don't wait and call the number on your screen now.
Home warranty.
Focus.
Yes, focus on an American Home Shield warranty. It can protect your covered home systems and appliances like this AC with a repair or replacement.
Yes, thank you.
Home.
It's home, not home.
Yeah, it's pretty sure it's home. American Home Shield. Sign up today at ahs.com.
When was the last time you checked in on your heart? With Cardio Mobile, the personal EKG device, you can check it from home using your smartphone.
I use Cardio Mobile every day, sometimes twice a day.
Every morning I check, make sure I'm in good shape, and it makes me feel pretty good about my heart condition.
It's a complete game changer. I mean, you might as well be in a doctor's office.
There's a way that I can communicate with patients now in a way I never could before. They have their own EKG in their pocket.
With Cardio Mobile, you can take a medical-grade EKG in just 30 seconds from anywhere. Cardio Mobile is proven to detect atrial fibrillation, one of the leading causes of stroke, and it's the only personal EKG that's FDA cleared to detect normal heart rhythm, bradycardia, and tachycardia.
Having Cardio Mobile, it's a peace of mind for me.
Because you can't see your cardiologist every day, but you can see your Cardio Mobile every day.
This year, give Dad peace of mind for Father's Day with Cardio Mobile for just $79. Check out our Father's Day sale at cardio.com or Amazon.
On the night of October 2nd, 2012, Carl Kopikoski finds his brother Lyle's truck abandoned down a gravel road on the outskirts of town, not far from where Carl lives. He immediately calls the police, and an investigation into Lyle's whereabouts begins.
The police started investigating, and a search took place. And several hours later, they found his body in a ditch within 20 feet of the truck, out on the side of the road in a rural area.
The search and rescue team has passed the area several times before, but because of the terrain of the ditch, the darkness of the night, and the lights from all the vehicles, Lyle's body has initially been missed. As authorities wait for the medical examiner before moving Lyle's body, his truck is searched.
Nothing was touched. Valuable tools were located in the back of the truck. So carjacking, theft, though we couldn't rule it out, but it was highly unlikely that that was the case.
No weapons are found in or around the area. The only thing that seems strange to investigators is that the driver's seat is pulled forward to a height that doesn't match that of Lyle's, indicating that he may not have been the last person to drive his vehicle, and making the theory of suicide slightly less plausible. Police get more details from Lyle's wife, Carol. She claims Lyle's been seeing a therapist for several months now, and she doesn't rule out suicide as a means to his death. But that theory is quickly dismissed once Lyle's body is removed from the ditch.
He was lying face down, so they had not rolled the body to see if the gun was located underneath. That's when I arrived on scene, where I then rolled the body and could not find a weapon. Then I noticed that he had gunshot wounds to his back. At that point, I called it a homicide.
5 bullet wounds are discovered in Lyle's body. 4 in his back, and 1 in his left temple.
It was pretty evident at the scene that Lyle had got shot on the side of the road and at some point rolled in or pushed into the ditch. He did have a gunshot wound to the side of his head, and we felt that that was the last gunshot that had killed him.
It's not apparent that he was in a fight. It was apparent that he was intentionally murdered.
Due to where he was located and where the truck was located, my thought at that point was that he was running away, and that at some point he had seen the gun, and he was running, away from the threat.
Now, with the murder investigation underway, the questions begin piling up. But the one thing on everyone's mind is, where is the gun that killed Lyle Kopinkoski?
Recovering a firearm with this particular case, it is close to solving the crime. That firearm will tell you a lot of things before the analysis. Who owned it, any prints on it, anything like that.
Investigators continue examining the scene, sweeping for evidence of any kind, for the murder weapon, or for any bullet casings, but nothing is found.
There could be two reasons why there are not gunshot cases. One, the shooter could have picked them up. Most of the time, it's not likely, but the shooter could have picked them up. Second, could have been a revolver. The revolvers where the casings stay in the cylinder. They're not discharged. So, if I were to put my eggs in a basket, I would say the gun was used was a revolver.
The only hope now is in the hands of the medical examiner. If a bullet is lodged in Lyle's body, that could help authorities confirm that a revolver was in fact the weapon used to murder Lyle. Investigators take their questions of firearms to Carol, who confirms there are 2 in the Kopinkoski household: a .380 handgun and a small caliber rifle. Authorities ask about a revolver, but Carol denies having one, claiming there are no other weapons in her possession. The guns are taken for processing and to rule Carol out as a suspect.
In a homicide, everybody's a suspect at that point. So we didn't have any concrete information. We didn't have anybody dancing in the street, waving their hands saying they did it. And of course, in that type of situation, the first person you want to speak to is a spouse to lock in key information.
Do you know what has transpired at the scene?
No.
Okay, you don't know that. We had the crime lab come up, and he has multiple gunshot wounds. Okay? No, I'm not kidding.
Authorities also begin speaking with the community in and around Petoskey, specifically those who knew Lyle well, all in the search for more leads. Several people come forward with information about that night. One witness comes forward, claiming to have seen a man near Lyle's truck the night of the murder.
We get up to here and we see that man walking in camo, and we're just like, it's already 9 o'clock, why is he heading out? We didn't see him carrying any gear, and that's another thing that puzzled us. Why were you walking into the woods, no rifle, no bow, nothing? Nothing fit. Just that whole day, we're going through this, and like, man, then we get the phone call, and it's like, somebody got shot, man.
Could this man be Lyle? Or could it be the person responsible for his death? A second witness contacts police with a different accounting.
Were there any lights on inside the car or any exterior lights on the car? No. Did it appear to be running?
Nope. Like I say, it was early in the morning. I was kind of in a hurry, but I didn't notice anything abnormal. And like I say, in other words, the first thing that struck me was that someone broke down, and so I was looking for someone walking.
You saw no one, though?
No one. Okay. It just seems strange that it was pulled not just off the road, but then back half out. And on a slope like that.
Unfortunately, nothing substantial comes from the eyewitnesses, and investigators have yet to pinpoint a suspect or motive. But a stunning turn of events occurs when they speak to Carl, who tells police some shocking information.
There wasn't a single family member or anybody that came forward stating that Lyle had an enemy except for one, and that was John Ernst.
He believes Carol is cheating on Lyle with John Ernst, her business partner and longtime friend.
As far as Carol's affair is concerned, many people told us that she had been seeing John Ernst romantically for many years. People had seen them together, some of their friends had seen them romantically, staying together in the same room. So it was clear that Carol was having an affair, and the affair was with this John Ernst.
Lyle was very aware that Carol had been spending a lot of time with John. So aware that he had talked to Carl about it, he had talked to family members about it, he had talked to Carol about it. Carol had talked to me and admitted to me that Lyle had been asking about John on various occasions.
With the news of what appears to be a happy marriage being anything but, authorities sway their focus onto Carol's rumored lover, John Ernst. And as the investigation digs deeper and word spreads, an anonymous tip leads them to believe they may have found their main suspect.
John put a knife to the throat of Lyle Kopenkoski and basically threatened to kill him.
The only thing on the road faster than a race car are rising car repair costs. They're up almost 20% in the past year alone. That's a lot of cash, unless you have Endurance. With Endurance, you'll never pay for covered car repairs again.
I've had 4 claims for over $8,700.
Endurance has saved me over $5,000.
Without Endurance, a broken AC unit can cost over $800. Transmission over $3,000, an engine over $4,000.
Cars break down, but with Endurance, I don't have to worry about it.
With Endurance, all major parts are covered, plus hundreds more. Even better, you pick the mechanic you trust. Endurance pays them direct, and you never see a bill for covered repairs.
Unlike other companies I've dealt with as a mechanic, Endurance is the direct administrator of their plans. That means no middleman and no runaround.
I went in for an oil change and I walked out with a $3,800 repair bill. Endurance covered it.
Endurance has been putting money back in drivers' pockets for nearly 2 decades, and the word is out.
Just look at what thousands of real drivers are saying about Endurance on top review sites. Whether you put 10,000 or 100,000 miles a year on your car, if it's under 20 years old, Endurance has you covered.
And if you break down, they'll jump your battery, tow, deliver gas, change the flap, unlock your car, and more.
Call now and we'll upgrade you to a full year of elite benefits free, a $2,000 value.
Don't let your car repair costs get any higher. Lock in your savings today.
Endurance saves drivers thousands, and now you can save even more. Right now, you can get $300 off any plan, plus a year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value free, all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Your next breakdown doesn't have to break the bank. Call Endurance and find out how much you could save right now.
Call 1-833-880-6332 for a free quote.
Dental insurance. Many employers don't offer it. Medicare doesn't include it. And people who work for themselves often don't consider it. But with Humana, you can still have it, starting at just $18 a month. That's about 60 cents a day. With a Humana dental plan, you'll get 100% coverage for in-network preventive care, such as oral exams, cleanings, and x-rays. Plus, you could save on fillings, crowns, and other dental procedures. How much could you save? There's a quick, easy way to find out. Call Humana now at the number on your screen. A licensed Humana agent will explain your coverage options and give you a free quote. You can choose from a large network with over 100,000 dentists and specialists nationwide. And you can have coverage in as little as 5 days. There are no age requirements, and you can't be turned down. There are a variety of plans to fit the whole family's needs and budget, plus plans designed exclusively for veterans and their families. Humana even has vision plans too, with coverage for exams, eyeglasses, and more. So whether you're looking for a dental plan, a vision plan, or both, call Humana now at the number on your screen. A licensed agent will explain your coverage options and give you a free quote. The call is free, the quote is free, and there's no obligation. Call now and discover the coverage you need at a price that'll make you smile. From Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
I've been driving a truck all my life. A bear ran across the front of my truck, and I had to avoid him instead of hitting him. I got a good settlement for it and everything, and that helped me to go out and acquire gold and silver. I got the brochure from U.S. Money Reserve, and that's when I decided I can make more money with this than I could leaving it in the bank. Because if I put 20 grand of paper in there, and I had 20 grand of gold, paper ain't gonna make me any money. I just bought it because it's my insurance policy.
If you'd like to learn more about why physical gold should be an important part of your portfolio, pick up the phone and call to receive the complete guide to buying gold, which will provide you with important, never-seen-before facts you should know about making gold purchases.
U.S. Money Reserve is one of the most dependable gold distributors in America.
What's up, guys? I'm Scott Disick, and welcome to my home. Meet Hotel Collection Studio Centrifuger. I recently started using their centrifuger here in my Hidden Hills home, and this is a must-have product. Their hotel-inspired scents make my place always smell like a luxury 5-star hotel. I don't know about you, but having a home that smells this good is priceless. Check out hotelcollection.com to make sure your house is always smelling good too.
Coming up next on True Crime Network. Police discover that Lyle Kopenkoski has been shot multiple times and that the murder weapon is nowhere to be found. After Lyle's brother, Carl, comes forward with a bit of shocking information about Lyle's wife, Carol, authorities begin to suspect that John Ernst, whom Carol is rumored to be having an affair with, may know something about Lyle's murder. An anonymous tip also comes forward about an altercation between Lyle and John, solidifying investigators' suspicions.
I don't know if you're aware of this gentleman by the name of John Ernst, who the summer before last did a family function, put a knife to the throat of Lyle Kopenkoski and basically threatened to kill him. So this gentleman, according to this entire side of the family, has quite a propensity for violence. He's known to have had some animosity and made a physical threat and held the knife to his throat.
Lyle confronted John Ernst at one point. There was a physical altercation between them. I'm very confident that Lyle was very frustrated with the fact that Carol was seeing somebody else, seeing John.
And learning that situation really piqued my interest because it was John Ernst, it was Carol's lover, and it was a knife to Lyle's throat. That's the only story I got involving Lyle in any type of altercation or having any sort of enemy.
With this startling new information, John Ernst is now high on the list of suspects. Is it possible that his rumored affair with Carol has taken a deadly turn?
I told the Detective Sumter, that we needed to interview John Ernst. The problem with the case was that John Ernst had moved out of the area, did not live in Petoskey any longer, was staying in Tennessee.
They reach out to John and inform him of Lyle's passing.
I'm confused. It wasn't health related? No. Huh. Wow. And I have to be honest with you, the reason why I'm calling you is that's a rumor that you and Carol are having an affair. Yes, it's been going around for years. We're good friends. We've been friends since high school. Are you absolutely certain? Because you're a little hesitant tonight. I'm concerned that you know something more and a little nervous to tell me. Now, I knew that he wasn't feeling well. His health was an issue, but I'm stunned.
He had no knowledge about the crime. He denied having an affair with her. He said that they were just friends, and he basically knew nothing about it.
Without any solid evidence to back them up, police can't pin this on John just yet.
He had a rock-solid alibi. He was in Tennessee at the time of the murder, on the day of the murder.
Police bring Carol in for another round of questioning. She retells the story of the last time she saw her husband. But as Carol speaks, officers realize something crucial. Her stories aren't matching. Originally, Carol claims she hadn't seen Lyle the evening of his murder.
The last time you saw him was when?
That morning, he left around 5:30.
But upon questioning once more, she states she returns home the evening of October 2nd, 2012, and finds Lyle acting completely erratic, wanting to go to work, even though it was the evening and he only works days.
She told me that she pulled his truck out of the garage and she allowed him, in what she claimed to be an intoxicated state, but she allowed him to get into the truck and drive to work in an unknown direction. That was odd to me. One, the fact that she had actually felt the need to pull the truck out of the garage, and two, letting your husband of many years jump in a truck and go to work highly intoxicated.
Well, we think that he was shot earlier in the night, meaning your story would be true. You see what I'm saying? No blood in his car, all right? There are no rounds or nothing. The driver's seat of the car is the whole way up. Okay, such as a smaller person would have driven the car.
Police begin to believe Carol may know more about Lyle's murder than she's letting on.
Is there something more that you want to tell me?
I don't know what I can. I don't know anything more. I'm just upset that you would think I would do something like this. I wouldn't do it.
I didn't say that you did.
I mean, when I look at a question like this, am I the guilty one here or what?
An autopsy is performed on Lyle. The medical team is able to extract several bullet fragments from his body, including one from his back that contains an identifiable groove pattern. The bullet is sent off for further testing, which comes back that it's from a .38 special revolver.
Typically, a .38 is a revolver-style type of weapon, the old Chief Special type of .38, but usually a six-shot. .38 caliber is mid-range as far as size, but it's also very popular handgun.
A lot of people like revolvers, and it, because you don't leave any shell casings, you don't leave a trail behind, or you take it with you. Whereas a semi-automatic, you gotta look for them when your shell casings are, and usually you never find them, even though they're supposed to fall right by your feet.
Yet no .38 caliber weapon is found at Carol's house, and she denies having one. Police find themselves grasping at straws once more, until another truth is revealed.
As the investigation developed, it turned out that Carol Kopenkowski had a .38 revolver, and she had told friends that it would be the perfect gun to use in a crime because it wasn't registered.
It was a family member that had seen the gun at Lyle and Carol's house, and it was at that point where Carol had mentioned that it would be a good throwaway gun in a crime.
With this shocking turn of events, police speak to Carl Kopenkowski with only one question on their minds.
Of the people in his circle, of people that we know, who would most likely be the person that would put the gun?
At Consumer Cellular, we pride ourselves on getting you the exact same nationwide coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. But don't worry, we've got a lot more than that going for us. Woo! Like this beautiful store in Arizona, for example. It's the perfect place for me to tell you a little bit more about our phones and how they can become your phones. You name it, we probably got it. We have the top smartphones from all the major companies. If it's state-of-the-art cameras you want with space-age metal housing, we got them. If you want a smartphone with lots of bells and whistles but won't break the bank, we've got that too. We even have flip phones like the Iris Flip. If you're someone that doesn't need all that mumbo-jumbo and just wants something simple. And now, we even have watches.
We do.
No matter what device you choose, you'll be happy to know that if your data needs change,
No problem.
with our SmartFlex feature, you don't have to sweat it. Like say you're on a road trip out west and end up using a bunch of data. We can simply flex you up to the next data tier for as little as $5. Then, when you get home, you can flex right back down with no penalty. So you only pay for what you actually need.
With Consumer Cellular, you get the exact same nationwide coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost.
I know what you're thinking. What if I don't have one of these amazing stores in my town yet? Can I get these phones sent to me?
Yes, you can.
Will our award-winning customer service help me switch over or add a line for $15 to make my own family plan?
Of course they will.
Is it easy?
Easy as pie.
You see that tower out there? It's a beauty. And there are thousands more like it, working hard for me and you, supplying 5G coverage to this beautiful nation of ours. We know how important coverage is. That's why we offer a risk-free guarantee. If you're not satisfied within 30 days of activation, you can pay nothing. Oh, look.
New customers who buy any phone get 2 months of service free when they sign up by July 31st. Call 800-311-5340 or visit consumercellular.com to switch today.
She knows what she's talking about. Pick up the phone.
We have a deal. Thanks, everyone.
Can you imagine if it was $1 million instead of $1 billion?
We'd be so fired.
Check the outer notes.
Yes, multiple meetings say billion with a B. We've got this.
Otter, you got this. Introducing Weight Watchers Clinic.
Our team of doctors will help you find the right medical weight loss plan, including medications if appropriate, with ongoing support from our nutrition and fitness experts.
The care you deserve from the brand you trust.
This is my dad. Storyworth started when I emailed him a question about his life. I wanted to save his stories so my kids would remember them, but I was surprised by how much I learned about him and how meaningful it was for us to revisit those memories. So now, just like I did with my dad, we'll send you weekly questions about your life. All you have to do is respond with a story, and after a year, we'll print your stories in a beautiful hardcover book. Everyone has a story worth sharing, so give the gift of Storyworth at storyworth.com.
They were gunned down.
This is a stone cold killer.
Now, determined detectives will have to trace the ballistics to track down their shooter.
We are all hands on deck.
Targeted for murder. Next on True Crime Network.
On a cool October night in Petoskey, Michigan, heavy machine operator Lyle Kopenkoski is murdered in cold blood. Over the course of the investigation, authorities questioned Lyle's wife, Carol, repeatedly, but her stories from the first night don't match to her current chain of events.
Her story didn't make sense. The events of that morning, why she would have let him go to work when he was clearly intoxicated, according to her, why she didn't check on him during the day, why she didn't call him even after being informed by his work and from his brother that he had seen Lyle's truck on the side of the road at 9:30 in the evening, and earlier that day, she never called him. She never tried to make contact with him to find out if he was okay. All these things were very suspicious.
To further the case against Carol, a witness comes forward saying Carol owns a handgun that may match the bullets pulled from Lyle's body. The witness further states that Lyle was not a gun person, but Carol is.
So our first search warrant was for Carol and Lyle's primary residence on Townsend Road.
They were looking for a .38 revolver, murder weapon, and any other potential evidence that she might have been involved in the crime.
In that search, we located a couple rifles. Didn't appear to be anything to do or have anything to do with the case. We found and located a handgun case, but no handgun in it. So we found that very interesting.
They did find, however, some books that were highly incriminating, would have been part of the circumstantial nature of the case.
There was a book that I located, and in that book, there was highlighted pages of how to cover up evidence. There was another book that was used and also highlighted about toxicology and different plants and different substances that could poison or kill someone without a trace. That was pretty interesting. But of course, at that point, I didn't know, but I was starting to piece things together a little bit more.
Slowly, the community's opinion of Carol comes to light, and most of them aren't flattering.
From all accounts, Carol was manipulative, selfish, all about money. She wasn't honest or trustworthy. She was cheating on Lyle with John Ernst for years. The phone records were pretty incriminating. Within a day or two of finding his body, she stopped talking to the police and took the Fifth Amendment. Now, while all citizens obviously have the right of silence and to not talk to the police, if you're not the murderer, why would you do that? In fact, you should be pounding down the door of the investigator, asking if there's any clues, if there's any suspects, what's going on with the case. She didn't do that. She didn't contact the investigators at all after she learned of her husband's murder, and in fact did the opposite. Completely shut down, took the Fifth, hired an attorney, and stopped answering questions.